Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a general collective reading for divine counterparts, and I think we're going to be focusing on the divine masculine today. Before I get started, I am still closed to personal readings, but if you would like to book for next week, feel free to reach out to me. I also have emergency readings. All of that is available on my website, susandawnspiritual.com, with a 24-hour turnaround time. I am even doing that this week if you need an emergency reading this week. Okay. So, before I get started with the shuffling, we are going to focus on the divine masculine today, and here's why. I feel like there has been a major shift with that new moon solstice. I've been experiencing that with my divine counterpart. I've been seeing the transformation within him. I've actually been blessed with being with him and actually having seen what is going on. But I've been getting downloads as well for the collective. Divine masculine is ready. They are ready to do something different. They are ready to make new choices. There is still some fear and karma that's holding them back at this point, and we're going to look into that with the reading today and see what happens. But I want to tell you about what I experienced last night. So, last night, I have not been feeling well physically. The holidays have really drained me. I have a chronic illness, and so I really have to take care of my physical health, and I just felt incredibly drained, not feeling well. So last night I went to bed very early, and it's very strange because when I go to bed, I always turn my phone on Do Not Disturb, especially, because I get messages on Messenger and Instagram, and I want a peaceful sleep, nothing waking me up. So I woke up out of a sound sleep thinking that I heard that familiar ding of Facebook Messenger, and it bolted me right up in bed. Now, I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. I should not be getting any notifications, and when I looked at my phone, there were no notifications. But when I looked at my phone, the time on the clock said 1:44 in the morning. 1:44 is a significant number for divine counterparts, twin flames, whatever it is that you want to call it. It's a significant number for the collective. I don't entirely understand it. So if you guys have an understanding of 144, I have researched that before. If you have an understanding of 144, please let me know in the comments below because I would love to learn. But for me, it feels like a number of significance for me and my divine counterpart. It feels like a union number. It feels like a rising number. At least that's what I was being told last night. Last night, I also had a dream about my divine counterpart, which I don't often dream about my divine counterpart. It has to be very significant. He's always somehow present in my dreams, but for him to physically be there, it's unusual, I should say. I think over the past 2 years, there have been maybe a dozen or more times that he was actually in my dreams over all the dreams that I've had. At least the dreams that I remember, because I don't remember a whole lot of my dreams. But the ones that I do have, they're always significant when they include him. And I can go into that another time, the ones that I've had. Ones that we were in separation where we were reunited. And I remember holding him so tightly, and there was so much love embracing us, between the two of us, as we held each other. And I heard his family behind us say, "What's going on?" And somebody else say they were in separation, now they're reunited. I think that was a year or two ago that happened, and that is just burned into my memory because of the love that exists between us when we held each other. Last night, well, let me start with this. My divine counterpart and I met in the 4th grade when we were 10 years old, and he was beautiful enough to give me a Valentine that I rejected because I had a crush on somebody else. The truth was, I've come to understand, my divine counterpart saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself, because we are reflections of each other. And he saw us. He saw who I was. I will always believe that he saw who we were together way before I ever knew. And it was almost like I couldn't face him. I did an inner child healing with the two of us, maybe over the summer. And it was really beautiful because I had to clear this wound that existed between us, of me rejecting him, which was me rejecting myself. And I faced him and I asked for forgiveness, and the forgiveness, of course, was there. As that little boy, the forgiveness, of course, was there. But I ended up grieving during that meditation session because I realized that I couldn't see in him myself. I couldn't see how would I put this? He's always been reflecting back to me my own love, my own self-love. Now, you love your divine counterpart for who they are, the identity that they are, the person that they are. It's not just energy. It's not just energy. There is so much more. Yes, you feel their energy, but I believe, and you can take this as it resonates for you, but I believe that true divine counterparts, it doesn't hop from person to person. The energy doesn't go from person to person. If you meet your divine counterpart, you feel it. You feel it in that person, that energy in that person. They might be the distorted version of themselves, of that energy, but that's where the awakening, that's where the ascension and the evolution comes in. And so, for me, my divine counterpart, and there have been many people and who have kind of thrown me off track, who have kind of, come into my life and, even being that energy of a soulmate, but I always knew the difference. That person might have been a soulmate, but this person is my divine counterpart. I can feel the difference in the warmth of the energy. You know in your heart, and you have to trust your heart. You have to trust what is in yourself. You have to trust your own intuition. But back when I was 10 years old, he saw something in me. He saw us that I couldn't recognize. I wasn't ready to recognize. It wasn't time for us. It wasn't that timing for us. We had to go through our individual lives to have our individual karma, what we had orchestrated together for us to be reunited in this lifetime. But I also couldn't recognize the love in myself. It was almost like I couldn't see the love in myself because of past life wounding, because of trauma I had experienced in my childhood. I didn't see myself as special. And so I couldn't see how somebody could see me as special. And so it was like I couldn't recognize my divine counterpart. We spent about 20 years apart until we reunited as friends on Facebook, and then we went out for coffee, and then we formed a relationship. We formed a friendship. He's my absolute best friend. Absolute best friend. And so much more. So very much more. But we had to live our individual lives, and it had never become more clear. They say with divine counterparts that you can be in separate countries, in separate religions, in separate places, but that your life really is in parallel to each other. That if you flipped your lives around, you might have experienced different things on the surface. For example, I experienced illness. He didn't, but he experienced something else that goes along the lines with what I experienced in illness. The lessons, the karma that we have played out. We've both experienced the same thing because we are that one soul. It's funny, I had the pleasure of being with his family this past weekend. And even his room where he grew up is in the exact same location in his family's house as the room where I grew up. If you would look at the setup of our family's houses, of our parents' houses, it's parallel. You run your lives parallel, and things might look different on the surface, but you have to look beneath the surface. That is what this journey teaches you. You can't look at the 3D. You can't look at the physical. There's so much more beneath the surface. You look at the higher perspective. You look deep within. The 3D is just the illusion for everything else that is there. And so you run your lives in parallel. There's so many similarities. And we're not talking similarities as in you liking the same things. We're talking similarities as in, how did you grow up? How did you interact with people? What did you experience? What were the lessons that you were learning? How is your family structure? Things like that run parallel to each other. Because you are that one soul, experiencing, and I'm sorry if you guys can hear, that's my dog snoring. That's you guys experiencing double time. They had channeled that to me a number of months ago, that divine counterparts, if you want to call it twin flames, you can call it twin flames for the sake of this discussion. Twin flames are that one soul split into two bodies. And every single soul that is here is experiencing for the expansion of the universe, for the expansion and experience of source energy itself. Because as you expand as a soul, so does the universe expand, so does source energy expand. And so, divine counterparts, you've come to accelerate that. You've come to accelerate your own soul growth by experiencing that in two separate bodies, but you're doing it together because you're the same energy in two separate bodies. You're that one soul in two separate bodies. And so you're learning together, and so naturally you're going to be having similar experiences, just in different directions, for that contrast, for that evolution. But when you reunite, when you come back together, that's the merging of your energies, that you don't have to experience it separately anymore, individually anymore. Now is the time to be together. Now is the time for the reunion. Now is the time for the two souls that were separated, even though you were never separate energetically, to become one. And that's where physical reunion and union take place. You're not living separate lives anymore. You come together to merge your energies and then to merge your physical lives, to evolve together now in your mission work, in the evolution of yourselves, of the planet, and of the universe. And if you want to know more about that, I do talk about that in the special channeled messages playlist, so make sure you check that out if you want to learn more about union and twin flames, the things that I've channeled, the things that I've come to understand on this journey. But getting back to the dream, last night I had a dream after the 144 wake-up call, that I was at a hockey game. My divine counterpart was there. And so was the boy that I had had a crush on in elementary school, what I haven't thought of in, God, however many years, 30-some years. He was there, but I only focused on my divine masculine. It was like I was talking to this other boy, but I was always trying to find where my divine masculine was in the crowd. We were at a hockey game. I was always trying to find where my divine masculine was in the crowd. He was the only one I wanted. He was the only one I was focused on. He was the one who held my heart. He was the one who I was committed to. And I understand now that it's because he's always held my heart. And I feel like I close out a cycle there of forgiveness within myself. And recognizing, finally truly recognizing myself in him, and him in myself, and the love that exists between us. I've always known of the love that exists between us, but it's very strange. What they're actually telling me right now is that was a shared dream, and I don't know if he actually had that dream or not, but it feels like that was a shared dream, at least in a shared experience, of maybe finally recognizing the connection, maybe finally recognizing each other. No more holding back, no more resistance. No more fleeing, I'm hearing, from the love. I began this reading by saying the divine masculine is ready to take a leap of faith for all of their life, in career, in finances, in relationships, in family, especially in this connection. I feel it in every fiber of my body that they are ready to take a leap of faith towards you in this connection, towards love, towards their happiness, and their happiness is part of you. You are part of their happiness. They're part of your happiness. You expand each other. This is not codependency. This is not attachment. That is what you have been clearing and letting go of over the past few months, the past few years. That's what you've been clearing. This is a recognition of the happiness within to become the happiness without. This is a recognition and acknowledgement of wanting happiness and wanting joy in your life, and that you're worth it and deserving of it. This is an understanding of what this love truly is, and that by loving another, you expand the love within yourself. And by loving yourself, you expand the ability to love all. That is this love. This love is expansive. It is not constraining. It is not restrictive. It is not what you have known before in your 3D relationships. Family, children, friends, other romantic partners. This is not the love that you knew before. This love is free-flowing. Now, that does not mean if you choose monogamy with this partner, then that's what that means. That's what it is to you. It's commitment. That's not what I mean by free-flowing. What I mean by free-flowing and free is that there's no pressure. It is unconditional love. It is surrendered love, surrendered to each other. It is, I water you and you water me, and together we will grow and blossom and shine light for each other and the world. That is what this journey is all about. It is about pure love. Pure love. Loving another without needing anything. Loving another without expectations. Loving your partner, your person, your counterpart. Knowing it and feeling within yourself that they love you in return. No matter what you're seeing in the 3D, you feel that love inside of you. And that love just grows and grows and grows. And the love between you two in the 3D then grows and grows and grows. That is expansive love. And the more it grows between you two, the more it grows for all. Because love grows. That's what love does. It doesn't make itself small. Love blossoms and grows. All right, all that said, you guys don't skip the intros because I channel that for a reason. There's a purpose for all of that. For why I experience what I do, the stories that I tell, there's a purpose for it. So let's see what's going on for the Divine Masculine. This is just a Divine Masculine reading. Yep. Divine Masculine is ready. They want to come forward with an offer, a sincere offer. Could even be a romantic offer with this Knight of Cups. But you see, and they channeled this, no coincidence I use this deck. I love this deck. You see how he has his head bowed and he's holding out that cup? This is reverence. This is honor. This is cherishing. This is saying to you, I honor you. Will you receive me now? This is also an apology, saying, I'm sorry that I couldn't see this. I'm sorry that I couldn't see you, but will you accept me now? Will you accept me as I am? Divine Masculine wants to come forward now. I just heard desperate to come forward. I feel like they're desperate to come forward. Let's get more on that. What's going on with that? It feels like, so this is a card of opportunity, a card of options. Could also be a card of confusion. I feel like the Divine Masculine has been very confused by all the different paths that have been laid out before them. But you see how she's looking in a treasure chest? That's you. When the Divine Masculine actually goes within their heart, this is the desperation that they've been feeling. This, which way do I go? What do I do? How do I come forward? That's the confusion. What direction do I take? How do I go forward towards my happiness? What am I supposed to do? But when they go within their heart, that treasure chest right there, that's their heart space. Once they go within there, they see, oh, that's interesting. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So there are all these 7 options, and traditional tarot, there are 7 cups. This is the 7 of cups. But here, look, there's this 8th. There's this 8th. This is all the distractions. This is all the confusion. When they go within their heart, they see another option. They see the option of true love. They see the option of you, Divine Feminines. And they see that when they open up their heart space and really go within and listen to what their heart is actually telling them, not the confusion of the mind. When they really listen to what their heart is telling them, they see that that's their treasure. They see that that's their path. They're also pointing me to, there's a castle here. This is a tower. Divine Masculines may have been experiencing a tower moment recently. Yeah, there's a Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck, possibly even healing from that tower moment. Taking a bit of a pause out to rest. We'll see what comes out next. But they've had some kind of a tower moment which shook them, woke them up, and it feels like it was very dismal for them. It feels like they were losing everything. But that was just this confusion here. Now they're looking and they're saying, I have everything. I actually have everything. I have everything that I need. Divine Masculines were so focused on loss that they didn't see that they already had everything, and that's what the tower came in to shake them up. If you're so focused on, you have a choice, and I think that's what Divine Masculines have been understanding, that they have a choice, that they can whatever it is that they focus on is what they're going to manifest. They're starting to understand their own power. But if they're still focused on lack and scarcity and fear of, oh my God, I'm going to lose. Oh my God, I'm going to miss out. Oh my God, I'm going to miss this opportunity. Whatever it is, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of moving forward. Whatever it is, whatever the situation, if they focus on that, that's what the universe responds to, because they're in that lower vibration. But they're learning how to shift their mindset. They're learning how to shift their focus to more positive, and to understand that that positive vibration, that higher vibration, is here to stay because they're anchoring into it. But it's them having control over their mind, surrendering. They keep pointing me to this box here, surrender. Surrendering to what their soul is actually leading them to. Their soul is leading them to this treasure chest. Their soul is leading them to their own heart space, their own intuition, to listen to their own intuition. And when they open up that box, it's not going to be Pandora's box of all hell breaking loose. That's what they're so afraid of. They're so afraid of that if they take that step forward, if they offer themselves sincerely and lovingly with apologies and acknowledgement of themselves, what they themselves have been through, the choices that they themselves, for better or worse, have made. If they really look deep within, they're afraid of all the fear, all the subconscious blocks are going to come up, that it's going to be hell, it's going to be Pandora's box. What they don't understand is that what's in this box is love. Because what's in this box is you, that they've been keeping you at bay, holding you back. And that when they finally look within their heart, it's going to be them. It's going to be them in their pure divine light, in their pure love, in their pure divinity. And as that's them, that's you. That's what I was telling you about. That's what I was talking about with the dream, with my past experience with my divine counterpart. They've been so afraid of looking at themselves because of their past, because of their mistakes, because of their experiences. But now they're starting to understand their worth. Now they're starting to understand and not just starting, they've been there. They've been understanding, but really anchoring into that energy, really integrating that energy, really owning that power and that divinity and that energy, really owning who they are and where they want to go. And so they've been afraid of opening up that heart space, opening up that box, because they're like, what if it's just more of the same? What if it's just more pain? They don't understand that it's different now, because they're different, because they're transformed. And now what's in there? It's pure love. It's you reflecting back to them the love that they now have within themselves. Just like I couldn't recognize, my divine masculine has loved me since we were 10 years old. I couldn't recognize that because I couldn't recognize myself, because I couldn't see how special I was. That's what the divine masculines have been experiencing lately, because you've been shining your light so brightly, the divine feminines. You've been shining your light so brightly that they've been afraid, because you're shining a light on them and showing them their divinity, showing them how special they are. And they haven't been able to believe it up until now. I feel like that's what a tower moment has recently come in to shake them up with. They haven't been able to see that until now. And so now, I feel like they're just ready to take that leap of faith. Let's get more cards and see what's going on. That moon came in and revealed so much truth to them. it made them really look at themselves and look at you have two people and you have the two dogs here, but you look at the two dogs looking up at the moon, and masculine and feminine energy here in this moon. There's a lot of symbolism in this card that they're telling me. Masculine and feminine energy in this moon, and look, this is like your higher selves, your divine masculine and you as your higher selves, as that one soul combined. And look at the two dogs here. This is divine masculine, divine feminine in the physical, reflections of each other, both looking up at your higher self. And what's happening as you both accept and take that leap of faith towards each other in this love, what happens is you come together energetically and come together in the physical. And so your physical world now reflects what's happening energetically, because you're already merged energetically. You're already merged in the higher dimensions, in the higher realms. And so now what's happening is you bring that template down to the 3D, into a relationship, into a commitment, into a partnership, into a, hey, let's do this together now. They're playing music together here, but what I'm pointing to is the garments, a heart chakra. This is red, like root chakra. There once upon a time was a feeling of ungroundedness in this connection in yourselves, in divine masculine, in divine feminine too. The love of the divine feminine was so overpowering and so overwhelming, because remember, we've rarely, if ever, experienced this kind of divinity here in the 3D up until this point. We had never truly experienced this unconditional love, even from God, even from source energy. We had been resistant to that. But that's what this journey, this ascension really opens us up to. It helps us understand the love from source. It helps us understand the love of each other, the love of ourselves, the love of spirit. It helps us open up our heart. And before we were ungrounded, before there was a sense of insecurity, instability, of fear. Fear is in the root chakra, but that's what you have been clearing. That's how you have been transforming. So now you are much more grounded. Now you are much more stable in yourself. Now you are much more balanced and at peace. And because you are much more balanced and at peace, quieting that ego mind, your heart can speak to you. Your heart can just, they're giving me the word exude. It's like your heart chakra has been opened. And so now that love energy is just pouring out. And as that love energy pours out, what happens but you come together? Truths being revealed. Clarity about this connection. Clarity about this love. Clarity about life and yourself. Yourself as your identity. Your egoic identity. You know, I am Susan as an identity that I chose in this human incarnation. But I'm much more than that. I am soul. I'm my past life experiences. I am my future experiences, my future identities. It's a higher understanding that's being revealed here. And this is what they are understanding now. As they go into their box, into their heart, as they open up their heart, as they open up that box, they're starting to understand the higher perspective. They're starting to understand what was essentially kept secret from them. And as they understand this, more and more is going to become clear to you, divine feminines, about what they're going through, what they have gone through, and about how they feel about you, about the love that truly exists between you two. I feel like the divine masculines have been through a lot. I feel like they've been through a lot the past. It feels like this past moon cycle, all of December, even going back as far as November with Mercury retrograde, which was extremely significant, Scorpio season, really diving deep into the subconscious. But there were a lot of positive shifts in December that kept moving divine masculine forward. It was a lot of forward momentum, and maybe it took some tower moments, maybe it took some shakeups for them to get out of their fear of change, their fear of looking at themselves, really diving deep within themselves. But it's these shifts, we had the new moon, the full moon, the eclipse, portals, the 12/12 to 12/21 portal, all of that, and now we have the new year and significant changes going into January as well, significant cosmic events coming into January as well. But all of this has created a shift in them, a transformation in them, where they're feeling it within themselves. They might not be completely clearly understanding it yet, but they're feeling it. They're feeling it. And what this is making them feel like, they need to move forward, and they want to move forward with you. That's their driving force right now. It's a universe pushing them. They know that they need to move forward, but right now it feels like the universe is pushing them to move forward with you, because they know that that is part of their journey now. They're recognizing that this is part of their journey. And some of them might still be in a little bit of resistance, might still be holding back a little bit. But in their heart, they feel ready to take that leap of faith. They just don't know quite how yet. Well, let's get more on that. Let's see what else. Let's get more for the Divine Masculine. Let's get more. I'm actually going to use a different deck. I'm going to use this new deck that I got. This is the Mermaid Tarot. Merry Christmas, all the decks. Deck the holes. I had to, you guys. I had to. Come on. Had to. All right. Let's get more for Divine Masculine. What else do we need to know about Divine Masculine at this time, Spirit? What's going on with Divine Masculine at this time? Yeah, this is the Two of Wands. Hold on. Okay, hold on. They've got more. Yeah. Okay. This is nice because this is like overall energy, and what they're giving me now is connection energy, unity energy. Yeah. They want to work hard. They want to end the conflict here. They want to end this conflict within themselves. They want to end the conflict and separation with you. They want to end the conflict outside of themselves with others. They just want it to be over. They are exhausted. They're exhausted. But they know that the healing comes from this connection. That as they heal themselves and as they heal this connection, because this connection is a healing connection, they're starting to understand this. This connection is a healing connection, that you grow together, that you heal each other. And even if you trigger each other, the triggers are meant for healing, because it's not you, Divine Feminine. You might be the one triggering them, but it's not you that is bringing all that stuff up to the surface. It's what's inside of them that is healing, that is clearing. It's their past karma, their past trauma, their past habits and patterns, addictions, toxicity, relationships. That's what's healing. And even if you might be triggering it for them, Divine Feminines, that is what you do as divine counterparts. Because this is a healing connection. This is first and foremost a journey of growth. But it's because you hold unconditional love for each other that you're able to do this. You're able to help each other grow and heal. In other connections, say this is a family member or a sibling or something like that. In other connections, when you trigger each other, you're more likely to hold grudges, not forgive, walk away. And yes, you've walked away. I'm not talking about that. Yes, you've walked away in this connection. That's detachment. That's lessons that you needed to learn to pull back your energy for your own power. But in other connections, in typical relationships, when you triggered each other, that would cause breakups, that would cause disharmony, that would cause walking away. Here, the strong between you two, the love between you two is so incredibly strong. That pull, that magnetism, is because of the love that exists between you two. Because you know that this is your safe place. You know that your person is your person. You know that the love that exists between you two is pure and unconditional. Now, I am not talking about abuse. You can go to my website and see my disclaimer on that. We're not talking about toxicity. We're not talking about especially physical altercations. That is not a divine connection. Ever. Ever. That is my disclaimer here. You know in your heart where there is love and where there's just toxicity. You will feel it in your heart. You will know within your heart. That's your responsibility to go within and open up your own intuition and listen to your own intuition about your connection. That is your job. That's your responsibility. And you can go to others for guidance, for support, of course, to help you understand what your heart is saying to you. But at the end of the day, you have to trust yourself and your intuition and the depth of love that you're feeling. That's what this true divine counterpart connection is. It is the depth of the love. That you know that when somebody is projecting onto you, when your divine counterpart is projecting onto you, that that's their own pain, but the love still exists between you two. And that's also you, divine feminines. You've done this. They've done this as well. Holding up a boundary saying, listen, I know you're projecting. I know you're in pain, but I'm not going to accept you projecting onto me. You need to channel your anger. You need to channel your pain. You need to channel your hurt in a different direction. That's you upholding your boundaries. That's you being in your power. That's you standing your ground. Divine Masculine has done that. You have done that. Or you need to do that. Take it as it resonates for you. But the connection here between you two is first and foremost, a connection of love, and first and foremost, a healing connection for your soul's growth and for your soul's evolution. Souls, plural. That one soul split into two, yeah, but that your soul, for both of you together. And so what is happening in this connection is divine masculine. I say all that because divine masculine, they want to end the conflict in their lives. They want to end the conflict within themselves. The conflict of the ego versus the heart. They want to bridge that. They want to balance that out. They want to listen more to their heart than their ego because they know that they've been caught up in their mind. They know that they've been caught up in their ego. They know that they've been caught up in their fears, in their addictions, in their patterns, in their mindsets that they've been refusing to change, in their toxic relationships or attachments. They understand this. They know this. They've just been trying to figure out how to move forward, trying to figure out a way, this Two of Wands here, to move forward because life has been erupting for them. Life has been crumbling around them because of those tower moments, because the universe is forcing them to face themselves and make different choices, to change the pattern, to flip the script, to make different choices and go in another direction. That's what the tower is. The tower is course redirection. If you're still repeating the same patterns and doing things the same way, making the same choices, being with the same people, working the same job, however this is resonating. If you're still doing things the same way and it's not getting you anywhere, you don't feel fulfilled, you don't feel joy, you don't feel happy, you don't feel even satisfied. Satisfaction is a starting point. If you don't even feel satisfied, if you feel like life is crumbling around you, it's because that tower is coming in to shake you up and say, open your eyes and look at your other opportunities. If that road that you're going on is not working anymore, it's because you're meant to go down a different road. It's because that road brought you to this point, but sometimes in your travels, you have to take not just a detour, but a different road, because maybe that road is closed to you now. Doesn't mean you're not going to get to your destination. It just means the journey is going to look a little bit different than what you had anticipated, than what you had expected, and that is ego. Soul always knows the way. Your heart always knows the way. It's ego that says it has to be this way. I have to follow this path. It has to be exactly how this looks like. That's control. And that control is ego because ego likes to be in control. Ego likes to know exactly where they're going from A to B to C to D at every point along the journey because there's safety there, there's security there. Remember that root chakra? There's stability there. But that's a false sense of security. That's a false sense of stability. The only certainty there is your own faith. The only certainty there is your own soul. Believing that the universe is always going to take care of you and provide for you. That is the only certainty there is. And that is what you're learning on this journey. That's what they're learning now on this journey. Is that you will always be okay, but you have to take that leap of faith. because the direction that you were going in, it wasn't serving. Maybe it was serving a past version of you. It brought you to this point. But now that you're manifesting higher, now that you're vibrating higher, you are going in a different direction. Or maybe you're going in the same direction, just on a parallel path. Because maybe that past version of the road was too rocky. It was too filled with potholes. If you're in Pennsylvania, you know about the roads and you know about our roads that are filled with potholes here. Wouldn't you want a smoother ride? Wouldn't you want a ride that is filled with more balance, more beautiful scenery? Maybe more pit stops along the way that gives you a chance to meet new people, connect stronger with yourself and with other people? That has more overlooking beautiful scenery, that has more chances of adventure and love and happiness and joy. Wouldn't you want that rather than the road that you were going on that just feels bored, that just feels stagnant, just feels like the same old? And maybe that road catered to the past version of you. Maybe you needed that road, but you don't need it anymore because you are ascended. Because you are transformed, you don't need it anymore. And Divine Masculine now is understanding that their life has erupted because they were going on a path. They were so fixed on a path that served the past version of them, but that doesn't serve where they are now, and it doesn't serve where they're actually headed. And where they're headed, they can hold on to that dream of where they're headed. They can hold on to that destination of what they want, where they want to go, and what they want to do. But they cannot be so fixed that they're holding on to the past version of themselves, to the past path that they were taking, that they're missing all these opportunities that surround them, that they're missing where their heart is truly leading them to, that treasure trove where their heart is leading them to. They're missing the treasure. They're missing the treasure that is right in front of them. Temperance. This is a healing energy. This is them learning how to balance themselves. This is them learning how to integrate their higher self with their human self. This is them learning how to manifest as well, how to bring to fruition all that they want. And it comes from letting their ego quiet, because their ego has been so strong, it's been screaming at them. That's their overactive mind. But when they quiet their mind, when they quiet their ego, and they say to the ego, I'm not going to be afraid anymore because my heart knows the way. I'm going to let my heart lead me now. I'm going to let my intuition lead me. I'm going to let my soul guide me now. Once they do that, look at the magic between those two. Once they balance that out, look at the magic here. Look at that energy there. That is this healing energy. And what happens now is they know that they can move in a positive direction in their life. They know that they have the power to create their life. This is giving me magician energy here. They know that they have the tools. This is alchemy. They know that they have the tools now to create whatever it is that they want. They just have to let go of that control, that resistance, that ego that's saying, be afraid. Life is uncertain. The path is uncertain. So here, follow me, the ego says. Follow me, where everything feels stable, everything feels certain, where you already know where you're going. But that's a false sense of security. That's the illusion. The true safety, the true security, the true stability lies within your soul. The true stability lies within yourself. And so look, this is abundance, Eight of Pentacles. This is a card of working hard. This is a card of putting the effort. But this is also a card of abundance. Look at how she's offering all those beautiful 8 pentacles. It feels like this is lack here in the background. It feels like they were in a place of lack. And look, here she is coming in and offering this. This is what they're understanding. That when they thought that they were losing everything, when their foundation was crumbling, when their life was completely erupting, it's just course redirection to abundance, because there's nothing left here of the past. The past is the past. There's nothing left there. All they can do is look forward and focus on the future. And what does the future have when you balance out this energy, when you lead from the heart? When you know that you can manifest, when you know that you can heal the connection itself between you two. What happens but you welcome in your abundance? When you focus your thoughts on abundance, when you focus your thoughts on love, that is what you manifest. But when you focus your thoughts on loss, fear, scarcity, that's what you manifest. So I know we're talking a lot individually about the cards. There's a lot of energy coming in here. The energy that I'm getting here is bringing this full circle. Divine Masculine's life has kind of erupted. The tower has crumbled. Their foundation feels very insecure and uncertain. And now they're making a decision to heal themselves, to heal the connection, because again, they don't want this conflict anymore. Yeah, they want to heal. They want to heal. They don't want this conflict anymore within themselves, within their life, within this connection. And they're recognizing that this connection is a part of their healing journey. They're recognizing that the love between you two, the support of each other, that the connection that you have is a part of their journey, is a part of them now. And through that recognition, they're going to heal and put forth the effort to create their abundance, to create their happiness, to create something very stable within themselves and within their own life. Tomorrow is New Year's. I typically spend it on my own because it's my favorite day of the year, and I choose to just kind of take the time to reflect and gather all my favorite things, my favorite foods, my favorite movies, and just really enjoy me. It's kind of like a me day for me. That's been a tradition for a while. So I might actually do a reading tomorrow, either tomorrow night or on the new year. So make sure you stay tuned for that. It's going to be a collective sacred union reading. This is just Divine Masculine, but I'm going to get a sacred union reading up for you guys as well this week. So make sure that you stay tuned for that, because this is very in depth for Divine Masculine of what's going on right now. It feels like it feels very heavy, the energy right now. It feels very, very heavy, but that's because, yeah, they've been in this stagnant energy for too long. They've been trapping themselves for too long. But now they're getting illuminated to this. They're understanding this. What was once secret is now being revealed to them because they are opening up their heart chakra, opening up their heart space, looking within, and they are freeing themselves from any binds that are tying them, any binds that are holding them back, because they are the Emperor at the bottom of the deck, the Emperor there. Because they are taking control of their lives. Before it was a distorted masculine view of control, where they were resisting, where they were, holding back, where they were like, it has to be this way and only this way. Now they're opening up to their feminine energy of flow. That's this. See the flow between the two? That's the energy of the masculine and the feminine in balance here as well. That's what they're healing as well. This is opening up to the flow within themselves. Not being so rigid. Now being more flexible. Before they were just, it has to be this way. It has to be this person. It has to be this career. It has to be this amount of money. It has to be this. It has to look this way. Divine Feminines, you were in that energy as well, where you had expectations. But with you stepping into your power, into your Divine Feminine energy, you really experienced that flow, that letting go of resistance, that letting go of control, that letting go of expectations and attachments. You really opened up to allowing this connection to unfold. And I feel like that's what Divine Masculine is doing for their life. They're learning how to let things unfold without holding on to that rigid structure anymore. Anything else we need to know for Divine Masculine? Is there anything else we need to know for Divine Masculine? Page of Wands. This is, look how beautiful this is. This is the beginning. Look how innocent she is. Look how hopeful she is. Look at how she's holding that ball of light that looks like the sun. Divine masculine energy right there. This is the divine masculine wanting a new beginning, wanting to take that leap of faith, wanting to take action with hope in her eyes. This is like the beginning of the reading. They want to come forward towards this connection. They want to come forward towards you. They want to express themselves. And it's not just towards you, divine feminines. They want to express themselves to the world. They want to say to the world, this is who I am. This is my heart. This is who I am choosing to become. This better, enlightened version of me. Let me show you who I really am beneath the masks that I have worn, beneath the facades that I have put up, beneath the guards around my heart. Let me truly show you who I am. Let me offer myself to you. And now they're wanting to take action. They're wanting to take that leap of faith. They're wanting this new beginning for themselves, for their life, a clean slate, a fresh start. They're wanting to put the past behind them because there is nothing left because of this destruction, because their life has erupted. They're seeing that the past, yes, the past served them up until this point. But now if they want to manifest, if they want to work hard and manifest abundance, if they want a new life for themselves, if they want a better version of themselves, if they want this connection, which they are very hopeful about, they're holding their world in their hands. They're holding their life in their hands. They're holding their heart in their hands. They know that they have to get themselves out of this entrapment. This is mental. This is mental entrapment that I'm getting here. This is their fears holding them back. And once they shift out of that, once they don't hold on to the past, once they let go of their rigid expectations of the future, if it has to be this way, that control, they know that everything will unfold for them. This new beginning will unfold for them. I feel like there's one more message. Let me get one more message, and then we'll get, what time is it? Yeah, we'll get guidance for them. We'll end with guidance for the divine masculines. Yeah. I'm not going to take all these cards. There's so many, but what flipped over but the Fool? This is that beautiful, they have that wisdom within them with the High Priestess. This is that feminine energy, that divine feminine energy within them, within themselves. This is trusting and having faith, taking that leap of faith and having faith that everything will unfold. The High Priestess she holds wisdom. She holds a deep sense of knowing, a deep sense of faith. That's what they're stepping into, that energy. Letting their own inner light guide them. Trusting the divine to be guiding them. Trusting you, divine feminines, to be guiding them. You're holding up the light for them as well. This is them ready to take that leap of faith. And look how beautiful and vibrant this card is. In, I think it was the last Sacred Union reading, I used this deck, and what they were showing me was, and I'm going to get it really quick because I feel like it's this important. What they were showing me was the Eight of Cups, but the Eight of Cups, there it is very significant in this deck because what they were showing me is this is the divine masculine having shed his own old skin, now moving closer towards where he belongs, leaving the past fully behind to move forward towards where he belongs. And look, they're showing me the moon here, that full moon here. This is divine feminine energy moving towards the divine feminine. This is the divine masculine finally understanding what it means to go with the flow, so to speak. Finally understanding what it means to follow the heart to where it's guiding. And even though they may have been safe and secure on land, this is a metaphor, you guys. Even though they may have been safe and secure on land, they know that their heart is with the ocean. So even though they felt safe and secure following one specific path, that career, that mission, that pattern of thought, that relationship, perhaps some of them were in a marriage or some of them were tied to family that they felt safe and secure in. Their heart has been leading them somewhere else. And now this is them finally shedding that skin, finally shedding the past path, their past self, and going towards where their heart is truly guiding them, going towards their divine feminine. And look what happens when she emerges from the water now. This is that energy of baptism. This is that energy of purification. Look what happens when she emerges from the water now. He, she, it doesn't matter. We're not talking gender here. We're talking divine masculine energy. What happens here is, look how vibrant and energized they are. Look how beautiful and enlightened this energy is. Look how excited they are to move forward. This is that leap of faith. Going into the water, not knowing what they're going to come out as, but in their heart, knowing they're going to come out as this, something new. This is that fresh start. This is the new beginning. This is a brand new phase for a brand new them. This is divine masculine transformed. All right, you guys, we're going to end the tarot with that. Let me get some guidance using my Conversations with Spirit deck. This is available on Etsy. The link is below in my description box. I'm going to get some guidance for divine masculine. And you can take this as guidance for yourself, divine feminines. You hold this masculine energy within you. So if this is resonating for you, for your life, take this as messages for you. But this is what the divine masculines have been going through as well. Focus on your material world. This, for me, is a focus on what matters. Focus on what matters. This is an energy of ground yourself. Focus, you might be so focused on that one path that you're not seeing, so focused on the lack in that one path, so focused on the toxicity within a relationship, the attachment to a relationship, so focused on your finances, so focused on loss, so focused on scarcity, so focused on toxicity. I think I said that before, that you're not seeing what's also there, what's also in your life. Focus on your abundance. Focus on your blessings. Focus on the people who love you and support you. Divine masculines, you've been so focused on one thing. They're asking you to change your focus, shift your focus. It's not focused on your material world as in focus on your finances, though some of you need to do that, but it's focus on your material world as in focus on what matters. Shift your priorities. What are your priorities? If you're so focused and prioritizing toxicity, attachments that aren't serving you anymore, friends who are no longer in vibration with you, family who are holding you back, a career that doesn't serve you anymore, that doesn't bring you joy, then your priorities need to shift. Your focus, your thoughts need to shift to what is in your life, in your material, physical world that does bring you joy. Because you're meant to find joy in the journey. This journey is not meant to be difficult. Yes, it was difficult because you were clearing toxicity, because you were clearing karma, because you were clearing trauma and pain, because you were transforming, because you were shifting, because you were leaving behind a past version of yourself, and that is so difficult. Because that was what you knew. That past version of you was what you knew, and transformation can be painful. But you're meant to find joy. What lights you up? What brings you joy now? There is joy here. There is happiness here. But it's up to you to shift your focus, change your perspective, change the patterns, and look at life and the journey and yourself, not through the eyes of pain, but through the eyes of joy and happiness. You are meant for joy and happiness as a soul. You are meant for love. And joy and happiness is that same high vibration of love. And if you are focused on love and you're negating joy and happiness for your own life, then you're negating love. You're not focused on love. You can be saying that you're focused on love, but you're not really focused on love. It's a false mask. It's a false love. You have to find the joy and the happiness within yourself. Believe that you're worthy of that. Believe that you're deserving of that. That's where you feel the love. All right. Let's see what else we got. One more. Thank you. It's only darkest before the dawn. New day is dawning, divine masculines, and you're holding it within your hands. It's in your hands now. It's only darkest before the dawn. The sun is going to rise, you are going to rise, but you have to shift your focus from that lack to abundance. Feel it within your heart. Allow yourself to feel love. Allow yourself to feel happiness. Allow yourself to feel that joy because you're deserving of it, because you're worthy of it. Don't hold on to the past. Don't hold on to the pain. Don't hold on to resentment. Allow yourself to feel through it because the only way out is through. Allow yourself to feel through it. But know that there is a new beginning for you. There is a fresh new start for you. And look again at this beautiful energy. All you have to do is, in your mind, be committed to taking this leap of faith. In your mind, shift your focus towards what it is that you truly want to manifest for yourself because you know it. You feel it within your heart. You feel it within your heart what it is that you want. You feel it in your heart where your heart is trying to guide you. So don't be so rigid in that control. Don't be so rigid in this is how it's been, this is how it's always going to be. Because everything is changing in every single moment. And you have changed too. You have transformed too, having shed that old skin to become this something new. It's only darkest before the dawn. All right, you guys, I'm sending you so much love, so much light. We will have a Sacred Union update where we'll go into how the counterparts are actually interacting and connecting with each other. It's just felt very important for the Divine Masculine today. So we'll come back with another reading. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss a beat, and we'll see you soon.